You know what's mad? Everyone laughs and goes, it's Britain, it rains. But this year is not just a bit wet, it's breaking normal life quietly. Because rain like this doesn't just ruin your weekend, it ruins roads, cars, homes, mood, and even water supply in ways that don't make sense at first. And I'm not saying that like a headline, I'm saying that because I had to replace a wheel that got destroyed by hitting a pothole I couldn't even see. Welcome back to Charlie Survival. If you click this video because you're thinking, why does everything feel harder lately? Why are the roads wrecked? Why are the people flooded out? Why does it feel like the sun has been deleted? Why are we drowning but also being told to save water? You're in the right place. Drop a comment and tell me where you're watching from and what you've noticed this winter. Potholes, floods, damp, mood, whatever it is. And subscribe if you want realistic UK preparedness for normal people, not bunker fantasies. Because today I'm going to show you the real chain reaction, how a wet year turns into cost, chaos and disruption, and then I'll give you a practical setup so you're harder to knock off track. The proof is not just in your head. Alright, so first let's confirm something. The reason it feels like it's rained forever is because for some places it basically has. Met Office reported that several observing sites logged 40 consecutive wet days from 31st of December 2025 to 8th of February 2026, including North Wyke, Cardenham near Bodham in Moor, and Aswood Bank. So if you feel like you've forgotten the concept of warmth on your face, you're not being dramatic, you're reacting normally to abnormal persistence. So here's the important bit. When a pattern like that keeps going, it doesn't stay in the sky, it lands on your daily life. Potholes, the hidden tax. Let's start with the most relatable one. Potholes, because potholes aren't just annoying, they're expensive, they're time off work, they're stress, they're recovery trucks, they're great, there goes my savings, and rain makes them worse in two ways. One, water gets into cracks, the ground shifts, freeze-thaw does its thing, and roads deteriorate faster. Two, the worst potholes become invisible. They fill with brown water and suddenly it's not a pothole, it's a trap. That's exactly what happened to me. I didn't drive into a crater, I drove into a puddle around a corner that wasn't a puddle. And when you drive a lot, especially rural lanes, back roads or anywhere the tarmac's already tired, this year has basically turned into a wheel and tyre lottery. Now, in a second, I'm going to show you a simple car setup that stops a pothole moment turning into a full-blown roadside crisis. But first, we need to talk about what this wet year does to cars beyond potholes. Breakdowns, why wet weather makes everything fail. This weather increases breakdown risks in boring, realistic ways. Visibility gets worse, resulting in more near misses, more sudden braking. Spray and stand in water, resulting in more electrical weirdness. People detouring onto rough roads, resulting in more impacts. Cold and damp, meaning batteries struggle, especially if you do short trips. You stop, hazards on, your phone is on 9%, and here's the line I want you to remember. Power isn't a luxury in a breakdown, it's safety. Quick one, because this is one of those things people only think about after they've needed it. If you ever break down or you're stuck waiting somewhere, the stress isn't the car. It's your phone dropping, it getting dark, and suddenly you've got nothing to lean on. This part is sponsored by All Powers. I've been testing their R600 power station with the SE200 solar panel. And I'll be honest, I'm not trying to power the world from a car. I just want the basics covered so I'm not scrambling. So my priorities are simple. First, phone and power bank, because that's calls, maps, torch, everything. If that dies, you're guessing. Second, light. A small lantern or LED makes your car feel like normal again, and you can see what you're doing and you're not burning through your phone battery using it as a torch. Third, warmth. Most people don't carry proper layers all the time in the car. I'd rather heat me than heat the whole car. So a heated blanket on low is honestly perfect. Now, I've also got a little 500-watt heater, and yes, this will run it, but in bursts only. Quick warm up, then off. Heat and air drains power fast, so use it smart. And what makes this setup even more useful is solar. With the SE200, you've got a way to top the unit back up during the day, which is a big deal if you're thinking in hours or even overnight. And if you don't drive, this still works at home as a compact backup. Phones, lights, essentials. Click the link in the description and the pinned comments if you want the exact setup, and use the code Charlie10 for 10% off. The UK water paradox. So here's something that genuinely surprises people. Even with all this rain, parts of the country have only just come out of restrictions. South East Water lifted its hosepipe restrictions for part of Kent and Sussex on Thursday 5th of February 2026, after a temporary use ban that began on 18th of July 2025. And people hear that and go, hold on, flooding everywhere and we're still under a hosepipe ban until basically last week. Yep, so how does that make sense? Here's the simple explanation. Flood water isn't the same as usable water. Why floods don't equal full reservoirs? When the ground is already saturated, rain doesn't politely soak in and top everything up. A lot of it becomes runoff, it rushes into rivers, overwhelms drains, floods roads and fields, and then it moves on. And the other thing people forget is the system isn't one big national bath, it's a patchwork of catchments, storage, treatment capacity, and pipe networks. So one area can be soaked while another is still managing supply carefully. For example, the government's water situation January 2026 summary said reservoir storage for England was 90%. That's the national picture, but national doesn't always match what people feel locally, because local infrastructure, refill timing and regional demand can still create pressure. And this is where Charlie Survival comes in. I'm not telling you panic, I'm telling you this is a resilience test, and normal people need normal solutions. What this weather does to normal life. Let's go through the real impacts, the ones nobody glamorizes. 1. Work and travel becomes unpredictable. Flooded lanes, closed roads, slower commutes, delays that stack up, and once you're late a few times, it affects everything. Stress, money, relationships. 2. Homes start quietly degrading. Damp, condensation, mold creep, clothes never drying, heating on more often, but you still feel cold because it's wet cold. People think preparedness is all dramatic, but honestly sometimes it's as simple as, can I keep my home dry enough that I'm not constantly run down? 3. Your mood changes and you don't notice it happening. When you go weeks without that feeling of sunlight on your skin, it chips away at you. You become more passive, more indoors, more Netflix and chill, more I'll sort it tomorrow, and that's when small problems become big ones. Quick practical note, the NHS says adults and children over 4 need 10 micrograms of vitamin D a day, and government advice is many people should consider a daily supplement in autumn and winter. Not medical advice, just a reminder to take the no sun on your face factor seriously and speak to a pharmacist if you're unsure. 4. Flood risk becomes normalized, which is dangerous. This is the one I don't want you casual about, because floodwater can be deeper than it looks, fast moving, hiding debris, and sometimes contaminated. And the most common mistake is people thinking it's only a bit of water. No, it's only a bit of water until your car stalls, or you lose footing, or you're stuck. The official flood service right now, today 12th of February 2026, is showing 76 flood warnings, flooding expected, and 152 flood alerts, flooding possible in England. That number changes consistently, but the point is it's widespread. The wet year ready setup. Now here's what you can actually do. Not a bunker, not £2,000 of gear, just a setup that makes you harder to disrupt. A. Car setup, the I refuse to be stranded kit. A proper torch or head torch in the glove box. A warm layer plus blanket. Wet cold is savage. A way to inflate tyres and handle small issues. Phone charging cable plus backup power accessible. High vis or reflective layer if you're on a dark road. Wiper blades that actually wipe, don't wait until they smear. Screen wash topped up, spray film is real. And here's the big one, keep it reachable. If it's buried under bags in the boot, it doesn't exist when it's tipping it down. B. Home setup, stop damp winning. Clear gutters and check downpipes. Ventilate in short bursts, don't just seal the house and hope. Consider a cheap hydrometer, it tells you if your house is quietly becoming a swamp. Have a leak plan, buckets, towels, and where valuables go if water comes in. Know where your stopcock is before you need it. C. Water setup, the calm version. You don't need a bunker, you need breathing room. A few days of stored water means if anything gets disrupted, you're not instantly stressed. And that's the theme today, reduce stress by adding margin. If you haven't already got it, download my blackout checklist. It's free and I'll leave the link in the pinned comment. That checklist covers the basics most households miss when the power goes or the weather turns nasty. Right, back to the wet year. The don't get caught out rules. These are the rules that save you from stupid situations like I was in. If you can't see the bottom and have time to maneuver, don't drive it. Standing water hides potholes and depth changes. Assume rural lanes are worse than they look. They're not designed for constant saturation and constant detours. If you're heading out at night in heavy rain, treat it like a risk activity, not fear, just realism. Don't wait for a crisis to check your basics. Wipers, tyres, lights, the boring stuff prevents dramatic stuff. And here's the final point most people miss. This year is teaching us that the UK doesn't have one problem, it has stacked problems. Bad roads, wet weather, low mood, flooding, and weird water restrictions that all equal disruption. So the goal isn't to panic, the goal is to become annoying to disrupt. So yeah, it might just be rain, but when it rains like this for long enough, it becomes a pressure test on everything. Your car, your home, your budget, your energy, your mindset. And if you feel that, you're not alone. Now, if you want to get ready without drowning in information, check out my Charlie Survival Amazon kit list. It's in the description, and grab the free blackout checklist. And I want you to comment too, one thing you've noticed this year: potholes, mold, floods, water restrictions, low mood, because I read them all and it helps me to aim these videos at what's actually happening on the ground. Now click this video on screen if you've been feeling that creeping winter slump lately and want to learn how to stay on top of it. Stay safe, stay calm, and I'll see you over there.